Hello and welcome back to my channel, Only in Your Mind. This week I decided that I was going to do Oscar the Grouch from Sesame Street and his sidekick Slimy. When I was little, I really enjoyed watching Oscar, and I don't think he had Slimy at that time, but when my kids were born and they started watching Sesame Street, he had Slimy. And Slimy was his best friend, and he taught Slimy to do really cool things like train for the Olympics and train to be an astronaut. So I decided, hey, it would be so awesome if I do the makeup of Oscar and his sidekick Slimy. So if you guys are also fans of Oscar and Slimy, or if you just want to watch me do the makeup of Oscar and Slimy, please keep watching. To start up this makeup, I started with Oscar's big bushy brows, and I use Fab's Indian Brown for those brows. Oscar's got some lovely shades of greens with a hint of dirt, but for one of those greens, I started off using Fab's Poison Green. To make Oscar's fur, I just took my brush and created lines to get that fur effect. I used several different colors of green, and I mixed lemon yellow and poison green from Fab to get a lighter color of green.
Oh, that one?
I really wanted Oscar's hands to look like they were coming out of the trash can, so I gave him 3 fingers on each side, and the fingers gradually got smaller to the back of the trash can. To give the fur some dimension, I use a darker green, and it's from Fab, and it's called Emerald Green. I tried to place those lines all through his fur, from his fingers, his neck, all through his head area as well.
Scram, Moon! Good choice, Slimy.
Even though Oscar's a grouch and he's always grouchy, I really wanted him to have a smile, so I used Paradise's black to make his mouth. And for his tongue, I used Paradise's red, and I filled in his entire mouth with that Paradise black.
What? You think it's easy for me being a grouch who's green? Well, think again, 'cause it's not.
As you can tell, when the paint dries, it totally looks like a different color from when you first applied it. So I went back in with some of that lemon yellow and that poison green to make it stand out a bit more. I still wasn't happy with the way the fur looked after it dried, so I went in with lemon yellow, and I didn't mix it with any other green. To create Oscar's trash can, I used Tag's Silver. And I made sure to paint the trash can, being the silver color, between his fingers as well. And I also painted some of that silver behind Oscar's fingers and his neck area, and that would be the back inner part of the trash can. For the shading and the shadowing on the trash can, I used 2 colors from Fab, and they are gray colors. One is a light gray and gunmetal. I used Paradise's black, and I painted all the parts of my skin that's not part of the character with that black.
Well, Slimy, do you want me to read you a story now? Yeah, huh? Okay, then,
I also wanted to mention that I used a reference photo to paint this makeup.
I gotta be me. Oh, what a pain in the neck. I like the way you think, Slimy.
To give the trash can a little bit more details, I use black eyeshadow to create the lines across the trash can and to define the lines around the trash can.
Never talk like that about a Grouch! Oh, yuck.
To get some shadows under his fur, I use some black eyeshadow. To make his fur stand out a little bit more, I went back in with that lemon yellow from Fab. And I used that black eyeshadow for some shading inside of his mouth on his tongue. For Oscar's big ol' eyes, I use Wolfe's white and black, and I also filled in any areas around his eyes that needed to be filled in with that Fab's Indian brown and poison green.
You too, Pickle.
And to define those big old bushy eyebrows and his eyes, I used Wolfe's black and I outlined those areas. And I almost forgot Oscar's best buddy and his sidekick, Slimy. Now, if you guys are not familiar with Slimy, he is a worm and he is Oscar's best friend. Slimy is orange and yellow, and for his orange color, I use Tiger from Fab. And for the yellow color, I use Lemon Yellow from Fab, and I alternated both of those colors. To outline Slimy, I use Wolfe's black. And later on, I wish I had placed Slimy in a different spot.
Hey, what's going on here?
For Slimy's eyes and mouth, I use Wolfe's black and I use Wolfe's white for the middle of his eyes. And to highlight the back, to make him stand out, I use Paradise White.
I think it's time for me to get out of here.
Thank you so much for watching my videos on Only in Your Mind. And if you like this video of Oscar and Slimy, please give me a like if you like it, subscribe, and don't forget to share my videos. Until next time.
Alright, the song's over, now get lost!
And I almost forgot, please join me back here on Only in Your Mind for the makeup of the Count. Ha 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 ha!